Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sadman Soha. I am from BITS and my metric number is B031910480. In this video, I am presenting our first assignment of algorithm analysis, which is based on brute force algorithm. So, this is our group members. We have 4 group members, and now I'm gonna start with the introduction. So we choose bubble sort algorithm. So what is the bubble sort algorithm? Bubble sort is a basic algorithm that is used in the context of an array of the n element to sort a given set of n elements. Bubble sort compares all the elements one by one and classify the according to their values. If the given array has to be sorted in ascending order, so the bubble sort begins by matching the first element of the array with the second element. And if the first element is bigger than the second element, both elements are switched, or both elements, the first element and the second element, are swapped. So the second and the third element are compared and so on. So this method will be continued for third and fourth and fifth for the whole array. If we have complete n elements, then we need to repeat n minus 1 times over these steps. Okay, it is known as the bubble sort because as the largest variable in the given array bubble up to the last position or the highest index for every full iteration, just as a water bubble rises to the surface of the water. Sorting takes place by one, walking over all elements and matching them with the adjacent entity and if possible swapping them. So this is the bubble sort. So now we are showing an example of real life, how it works, how bubble sort act in real life. So imagine there are 7 cars all traveling down a straight road. All the car is in a straight road. The cars are all being driven on cruise control, but each at different speed. Every car's speed was different. When a car is driven faster, it will overtake it and occupy the slower car's position in the traffic. The car will be switching position with any slower car in front of them. Eventually, the car will sort themselves according to their speed, with the fastest car in front and slowest cars in the back. So this situation is just act like our bubble sort algorithm. So this is the real life example of bubble sort. So thank you so much. The next part will continue by my other teammates. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Abdul Hadi Misbah. I will explain bubble sort algorithm here. As we know that bubble sort algorithm is based on brute force technique. Brute force technique is an algorithm like it is very simple, straightforward. It's straightforward method solving problem that rely on sheer computing power and trying every possibility rather than an advanced technique to improve efficiency, but it works. Bubble sort algorithm starts with the very first element of an array. Let's say we get an array and a messed up array, so we want to sort it. So here how it works. This is an array, an unsorted array. The very first the array will pick element 0 and element 1. It will compare that which one is bigger than which one. Like here we are saying that the first one is 4, the second one is 30. The second element is bigger than 4, so there is no need to sort, it's already sorted. Then it will go for the next step, element 1 and element 2. Here we are saying that element 1 is bigger than element 2, so the algorithm will change it and it look like this one. The next step is similar like that one. 30 is less, 41 is greater than 30, so it will be like this. The next one, element 3 and element 4. Element 3 is greater than element 4, so it will replace the area, and then this is the phase 1. The first iteration is ended here since we already reached element 4, so the second iteration starts from here. The system will check again which one is lesser. The lesser one should be in the first element, then the second element, the third element, that way. Here we can see that element 0 and element 1 is okay, they already sorted. Element 2 and element 3, element 2 and element 3 has some problem here, so we need to change it. So element 2 and element 3 will replace their area. Then iteration 3, second iteration already stopped as it reached the last element of the array, so it will start again. The third iteration starts. Element 1 and element 0 and element 1 is okay, element 1 and element 2 is okay, element 2 and element 3 is okay, and element 4 and element 3 and element 4 is greater of all of them. So yeah, it's already sorted. Thank you so much. Our friend Afridi will take over now. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Mirza Shahid Afridi, and my matric number is B0319205505, and this is the complete bubble sort algorithm from start to stop. So here I am going through all the statements step by step, and before that, A is the name of the array and N is the size of the array. Over here I have made a list which we will gonna use to track the values for this algorithm. So N is the size of the array, which is 5, and I and J is the integer variables, which are the iterators which we are going to use in the loops. So over here we are going to take the array of 5, which is 11, 5, 9, 6 and 2. In the 0 index 11 we have 11, and in the 1 index we have 5, and so on and so forth. So this array is not in order. To make this array in order, we are going to use the bubble sort algorithm. So by using the bubble sort algorithm, this array will make it in a ascending order. So we are going to apply the algorithm and visually understand what exactly is happening. So let's start off with the algorithm and we will understand on the way. So starting it off with the step number 1, declaring the variables I and j, and which we will gonna keep the track of I and j value when we will go through step number 2. In step number 2, there is our first loop, which is the first outer loop, and the loop runs from I equal to 0 to I less than n. So the n value is 5. So the outer loop is going to run from 0 to 4, which is basically 5. So let's start off and initially I is going to be initialized to 0. So we are going to write I value as 0 over here. Then coming inside, we will go to step number 2.1. So it is immediately a second loop where we are going to declare j equal to 0 to j less than n minus I minus 1. This condition is very important to understand, and it will be more clear when we start the dry running process. And now this is the inner loop. What is the value of n? Currently the value of n is 5. So 5 minus what is the value of I, which is 0, right? So 5 minus 0 minus 1 is ultimately equal to 4. So j is less than 4. What is the value we assigned in j initially? It is 0. So obviously 0 is less than 4. So we are going to the next step, and which is the second loop. Now inside this loop a comparison will happen. Remember, we are comparing the first element and the element which is just right of it. So the comparison is happening over here and here. So we see a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. That is, the first element is greater than the element just next to it. Then the swapping will perform. So we assign the value of j as 0. So a of j is 11. The value of the index 0 is 11. So 11 is greater than a of j plus 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So the value of the array index 1 is 5. So 11 is greater than 5, which is true. So the if condition becomes true. Then we will go one more step. Inside the if condition, we have a swapping protocol. So this swapping happens over here. So 11 will take place of 5 and 5 will take place of 11, and then the swapping will end and it will go to the inner loop where j will be equal to 1 and 1 is less than n minus I minus 1, where n is 5 and I will be 0 because we haven't finished the inner loop. So it will be 0. So 5 minus 0 minus 1 will be 4. So 1 minus 4 is true. So it will be, so then the swapping protocol will be called. So the 11 is greater than the value 9. So the swapping will happen, the 11 will take place of 9 and the 9 will take place of 11. This will continue until the 11 reach its final destination, which is here. As we can see, after the first shift, the 11 will end up here, and this will continue until the whole array is sorted in ascending order. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sabnan Zoha. I am from BITS and my matric number is B031910480. In this video, I am presenting the part of complexity, the complexity for bubble sort. So I am showing two parts, the time complexity and the space complexity. So in bubble sort, if we count the inner loop and the outer loop, there is two loops. One is inner loop and one is the outer loop. We can find that n-1 comparison will be done in the first pass. So then when we go to the second pass, there is n-2 comparison will be done in the second pass. If we go to the third pass, then n-3 comparison will be done in the third pass, and it's go on. So if we calculate the total comparison of the bubble sort, so we get n-1 plus n-2 plus n-3 plus ... plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. This is the equation for total number of comparisons. So by calculating this equation, we can get n into n-1 by 2. So from this equation, order of n is big O n square. We avoid all the constant from this equation. So in the worst case, if we go to the worst case, we have to compare all the elements in the array. So when we go to the worst case, the bubble sort time complexity is O n square, big O n square. So if we go to the best case, in the best case it happens like the array is already sorted. So if the array is already sorted, then it occurs just one time. Basically is just occur one time because the array is already sorted, so we don't have to compare all the elements. So for the best case type complexity for bubble sort is big O n. Next, in bubble sort algorithm, this is for space complexity. In bubble sort algorithm, we need only a single additional memory space for the temp variable. Just one single additional memory space for the temp where we put the temp variable. So the space complexity for bubble sort is big O 1. So the time and space complexity for bubble sort algorithm is shown below. The worst case complexity big O n square, the best case complexity big omega n, average case complexity big theta n square, and space complexity is O1. So that's all. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nafis Ahmed. My matric number is B031910481. Now I am going to talk about compare with an algorithm which is better than bubble sort. We think selection sort is better than bubble sort algorithm. We know that bubble sort and selection sort algorithm both are brute force technique. Bubble sort is a simple sorting algorithm that continuously steps through the list and compares the adjacent pairs to sort the elements. And the selection sort is an algorithm that takes the smallest value in the list and moves it to the proper position in the array. Compare with an algorithm which is better than bubble sort. So if we compare the algorithms, bubble sort using compares the adjacent elements and swap accordingly, and the selection sort select the minimum element from the unsorted array and place it to the right position. In the other hand, bubble sort is less efficient, but selection sort is more efficient than bubble sort. Bubble sort is slower than selection sort. It takes longer time. And the selection sort is faster than bubble sort, and it takes less time than bubble sort. Bubble sort using method is exchanging elements, and selection sort method is selection of minimum elements. Exchanging elements is not so sufficient than selecting minimum elements. The biggest difference between the type of bubble and type of selection is the type of bubble function by switching the neighboring items repeatedly if they are in the wrong order. On the other hand, selection sorts an array by finding the minimum element repeatedly from the unsorted portion and position at the beginning of the array. So because of these reasons, we suggest that selection sort algorithm is better than bubble sort algorithm. Thank you.